Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Plushtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. So I'm going to start with the eyes. I'm going to draw two equally sized eyes, one on the left, so starting at the top, draw a nice big circle, and then one over to the right side. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap in between. Just want to make sure that this eye is roughly the same size as the one on the left. And then in the middle of each eye, I'm going to draw the pupils. So just a smaller circle, and just color that in black. I want to make sure that they're dead center. Now around each eye, I want to draw a little bit of the edge of the eye. So it's kind of crumbled and cracked, but I don't want to go past this inner part. So I'm just going to keep it to the outside. So as I go around the eye on the outer part, I'm just going to draw a couple of wiggly lines and then just kind of taper it back in. So I'm going to go in and color this all in black. You don't have to copy it exactly like I do, just make sure it looks like it's kind of cracked and peeled around the outer edge. Let's go over to the right side and do the same thing. So putting some holes around, all the way around, and then just tapering it back in and coloring that in black. Now that we got the eyes, let's get into the nose. So the nose sits right in between the eyes, just a little bit below the lower edge of the eye. So let's start with the top edge of the nose first. Just drawing a curve. And then now we're going to come down to not a point, but a rounded tip. So we're going to come down and go back up. Now on the tips, on the edges of this nose, I'm going to draw a curve going to the outside. So starting here on the left, I'm going to curve out and down on both sides. And from here, I'm just going to curve down. Now this is the snout of the face. Now I'm going to connect these 2 points with a curve, but as I go along, I'm just going to draw a few cracks along the way. So let's kind of go across. I'm just going to draw a couple little ones and big ones, and then just kind of make my way to the end. And from here, I'm going to continue the jawline up to the top by going up. So I'm going to keep going on the outside just like that, and then on the left side, I'll just do sort of the same thing. So along every edge, you want to add a little bit of crack detail just for that added effect. Let's go up on the side, on both sides. And from here, I'm going to round out the top of the head. So I'm going to connect these 2 points with a rounded top. So I roughly want to come up to about here. So just coming up and then down on the right side. Now inside here you can go ahead and draw a few little holes and cracks. So I'm just going to draw some random shapes. Draw one over here on this side. And if you want, you can just kind of pull some points up. Kind of like that. So you're probably thinking it doesn't look like Plushtrap at this point, but we'll eventually get there. So let's draw the rows of teeth along here. So these sharp little points. Now starting on the left side, I'm just going to draw one. And then I'm just going to go work my way across to the left, just drawing that same point, almost like an elongated V shape. And we'll go to the right, kind of do the same thing, making sure that they're roughly the same length and that I'm following the contour of the top edge of that jaw. Okay, so now that we got that, let's get into the ears. So this one I'm going to flop it over. So it's going to come up here to the top and then come down again. So let's draw the top edge of the flap that comes down. From here I'm going to curve down on the left and curve down on the right in the opposite direction, and then I'm going to make my way across, but I'm going to crack the edge like so. Now from here I'm just going to draw 2 angled lines coming in towards each other and just finish that off with a straight line. For the back part of the ear, I'm going to start up here and just curve into the head, and on the back side here I'm just going to curve in the opposite direction. Okay, now let's go to the right side and do the same thing, but I'm going to just curl the very tip of that ear. So let's go to the top here, doing a curve, and then a curve a little bit on either end, and then again just making my way across with some cracks, and then drawing 2 angled lines, and just like I did here, and line straight across. Now here I'm going to break this into 2 parts. So from this corner, I'm going to curve in, and then I'm just going to round this out and tuck that in underneath that tip. From here, I'm going to curve down towards the head, and here I'll curve in the opposite direction. Now I'm going to go across with some cracks. And then here I'm just going to draw a little bar that kind of holds that ear in place. Okay, let's get into the lower jaw. I want to leave enough space for the bottom row of teeth. So let's go down in the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a curve along the bottom here. I'm going to put a point of reference here and one right about there. I want to connect it with a curve, but along the way, again, I just want to add some cracks along the way. From this side, I want to go out at an angle. Same thing on the left side. Now I want to curve out for the outer part of the jaw, but again, making a few cracks along the way. Same thing on the left side. Now, on this side here, I'm just going to curve inwards on the left and right. From here, I want to curve down towards the bottom end of the jaw. Just a slight curve in the opposite direction. Like that. And then I'm going to connect these 2 points with an upward curve. Like that. Now let's draw the rows of teeth. So starting in the middle here, I'm going to almost touch the top row of teeth like this. Then I'm going to work my way to the left. So going up. You draw as many teeth as you like. I know he's got a lot, so just go across like that. And then towards the right. It's okay if you make a few mistakes because we're going to go ahead and color the empty space in black. Kind of like that. Now from that corner, I just want to aim towards the nose. Just tuck that in behind the tooth. Same thing on this side. And let's go inside and we'll color in the empty space that isn't a tooth. We'll color that all in black. So now that we got that in place, we got the head, let's get into the body. And the body is probably the easier part of this drawing. Let's get into the shoulders first. So just under this jaw, I'm going to draw an angled line out on both sides. Then from here, I want to draw the sides of the body. So the bottom of the hips, or the waist, is going to come right about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to curve this down to the sides. Do the same thing on the right, same length. I want to make my way across, but again, I want to make some cracks along the way. So I'm just going to break this all apart, some wavy lines. Let's draw the belly. So the belly detail is basically the top half of an oval. So go up towards the jaw, chin, and back down again. Now that we have that, let's get into the arms. Right along the top edge here, I'm just going to draw an angled line. Let's draw the same thing on the right side, just in the opposite direction. And then we're going to draw the shoulder detail, the joint. Draw a little bit of a half circle, a quarter circle. Now the top arm, the upper part of the arm is going to come in this direction. So I take this and curve down, and curve in the opposite direction there. And then connecting these 2 points with a slightly wavy line. Now from here, I'm going to take this and pull it down. Let's go here in this corner here and pull this down towards the wrist. And again, connecting with some wavy lines. In the middle, I'm going to draw the wrist. So basically, it's a stick. So 2 lines coming down and curve connecting those two. So that's the wrist, the rod that holds the wrist and the hand together. From here, right where this part is, I'm going to curve down one of the fingers. I want to do an overlap. Draw the second finger. And then he's got 3 fingers, so I'm going to come around and then go in the opposite direction. So you see, I came around and then just switch directions towards the thumb. From here, I'm going to go in the opposite direction and just curl around and connect to that wrist. With some finger detail, I just want to go in and break the fingers up with a curve around the knuckles. Let's try that again on this side, and I'll show you again how I did that. So I want to make sure that the top edge of the arm is the same length. So curving one direction and then the other, connecting those two with a broken line. Come down on the forearm on one side and then the other, and then crumbling the wrist area. Now I want to create that rod. So again, I'm going to pull 2 lines down, connect it with a curve. Now on this side, I want to probably start with the thumb. So in this part of the rod, I curve around and then curl around that thumb. From this point, I'm going to go in the opposite direction and then wrap this finger around, do an overlap, do the second finger. Now the third finger, I'm going to overlap and then just push this right in towards that wrist. And again, making some finger detail. Just going to draw some curves around the knuckle area. let's get into the bottom part of the torso. So right here along this edge, I'm going to move down a little bit and just draw the top edge of the lower torso, just going right across. From here, I want to curve the hips, and then right about here is where I want to end, so I'm going to curve to one side and curve to the left side. Right here on this corner, I'm just going to push this up in an angle underneath the top part of the torso and color all this in black. Now that we have that, we'll get into the final stage, which are the legs and the feet. So right here by the hip, I'm going to pull down the top part of the thigh and then the inner part of the thigh on the left side, and connecting these two again with some cracked lines. Right under here, I'm going to draw the ball joint for the knee. Let's go to the right side and do the same thing. So I'm just going to take this detail and just mirror it over. Draw the front part of the thigh, and then again cracking that edge, and then a ball joint. Now here on the shin, I'm just going to angle two lines down and out. Come down on one side with a curve, other side with a curve. We're going to round out the bottom edge. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So two angled lines down, curving the shins down, and the bottom. Now for the feet, he's got 3 toes, so let's start with the left one. So here, I'm going to curve out the heel. Now I want the foot to come around this way, so I'm going to come down the bottom of the foot and then wrap around the toe. I'm going to do an overlap, do another toe. I'm not going to close it off. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap there. And the final toe, I'll come around. Then now here, I'm going to change directions and go right up against that shin. Let's draw the right sides of the heel. Come across and then just curl in the one toe, overlapping, second toe, and then third toe. And then I'm just going to curve this up in the opposite direction, right up against that ankle. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Plushtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please give us a like, share this with your friends, and get them to subscribe. Please check out our Five Nights at Freddy's playlist. I have a ton of characters in there. I also have a couple animated shorts that I've created. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.